Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Future Force. Today we are delving into one of the most significant developments in the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia, a strike that has reportedly inflicted serious damage on the strategic bridge connecting Crimea to mainland Russia. This bridge, often referred to as the Kerch Bridge or Crimean Bridge, has long been a symbol of Russia's control over Crimea and a crucial supply line for military and civilian logistics. The recent reports of its destruction or heavy damage have sent ripples through the region and sparked intense discussions about the future of the war, the effectiveness of Ukraine's tactics, and the vulnerabilities in Russia's supply chains. In this in-depth analysis, we will explore the exterior damage that has been reported, take a closer look at the internal structure and how it might have been affected, evaluate the performance of this infrastructure during the attack, assess the safety features and their response, identify unique selling points of this strike from a military perspective, consider the price of such an operation in terms of both strategic cost and execution, and finally provide a well-rounded conclusion on what this could mean for the future of the conflict. Starting from the exterior, the bridge was designed to withstand heavy loads and provide a permanent link between the Russian mainland and Crimea. Its construction involved massive steel arches, reinforced concrete supports, and a multi-lane roadway accompanied by railway tracks. Reports indicate that the strike has caused significant structural damage to sections of the roadway, with visible cracks, collapsed segments, and debris scattered across the surface. Satellite imagery and eyewitness accounts show smoke plumes rising from the affected sections, twisted metal beams, and damaged rail lines. The exterior damage suggests a highly targeted strike, possibly using precision-guided missiles or naval drones designed to exploit weak points in the bridge's structural integrity. This external devastation has halted or severely limited the movement of both military convoys and civilian transport across the bridge, forcing Russia to reroute its supply chains through alternative, longer routes that are more vulnerable to further attacks. Moving deeper into the interior, the true impact of the strike becomes even more significant. The interior of the bridge includes its reinforced support pillars, the understructure housing electrical systems, surveillance equipment, and maintenance access tunnels that keep the bridge operational. If the reports are accurate, internal wiring and control systems may have been compromised, leading to a shutdown of automated monitoring and safety alarms. The damage to these internal mechanisms is not immediately visible from satellite images, but their disruption can render the bridge unsafe for use even if the exterior damage appears repairable. Furthermore, the intense heat and shockwaves from the reported explosions could have caused microfractures within the concrete pillars and steel reinforcements, weakening the bridge's long-term stability. Engineers analyzing the aftermath will need to conduct a comprehensive structural integrity assessment to determine whether repairs are even possible, or if portions of the bridge must be dismantled and rebuilt. This interior damage may also delay any attempts at rapid restoration, creating a prolonged logistical nightmare for Russian forces relying on this corridor. When we talk about performance, this incident raises critical questions about the bridge's ability to withstand wartime stress. The Crimean Bridge was touted as a resilient piece of engineering capable of enduring both natural and man-made pressures. However, this strike exposes its vulnerability to modern precision attacks. From a military perspective, the performance of the bridge in this situation can be seen as a failure to resist or absorb the impact effectively. Russia invested heavily in fortifying this structure, installing defenses and monitoring systems to prevent such incidents. But the successful strike demonstrates that even the most protected infrastructure can be neutralized with the right strategy and technology. For Ukraine, this represents a performance break through the ability to hit a high-value target deep within enemy-controlled territory and achieve strategic disruption without committing large ground forces. Considering safety features, the Crimean Bridge was equipped with surveillance cameras, patrol units, anti-sabotage barriers, and even reported electronic jamming devices to deter drone or missile attacks. Despite these measures, the strike managed to penetrate its defenses, leading to significant questions about the effectiveness of its safety protocols. Emergency response teams were reportedly deployed quickly, and sections of the bridge were closed to traffic to prevent further casualties. There are unconfirmed reports of injuries and possibly fatalities among civilians and military personnel caught in the attack, but the exact toll remains unclear. The failure of safety systems to prevent or mitigate the strike highlights a larger issue in Russian controlled infrastructure, the challenge of defending long, exposed targets from precision modern warfare. From the perspective of unique selling points, this strike is a strategic game changer for Ukraine. First, it sends a powerful message to Russia that no part of its occupied territories is beyond reach. Second, it disrupts one of the most critical supply lines feeding Russian operations in southern Ukraine and Crimea. Third, it boosts Ukrainian morale and international perception of its military capabilities. Fourth, it demonstrates the evolution of Ukraine's strike technology, potentially using Western-supplied long-range weapons or indigenously developed sea drones capable of bypassing heavy defenses. And finally, it compels Russia to divert resources to repair, defend, and reroute logistics, stretching its already pressured war economy. The price of this operation can be analyzed in two ways: financial and strategic. Financially, the cost of the munitions or drones used in the attack is likely a fraction of the billions Russia spent constructing and maintaining the Crimean Bridge. Strategically, the price includes the planning, intelligence gathering, and potential escalation risks involved in striking such a high-profile target. Ukraine must balance the benefits of this success with the risk of increased Russian retaliation, which may target Ukrainian infrastructure or cities in response. For Russia, the price is far higher not just in monetary terms, but in the loss of a critical link, the cost of emergency repairs, and the potential loss of trust from its own populace and military logistics planners. In conclusion, the reported destruction or severe damage to the Crimean Bridge marks a pivotal moment in the war. It showcases Ukraine's growing capacity to hit deep targets, exposes vulnerabilities in Russian defenses, and may shift the operational dynamics in the southern theater. If the bridge remains out of service for an extended period, it will hinder Russia's ability to resupply its troops, limit civilian movement, and weaken its grip on Crimea. For Ukraine, this success bolsters its position both militarily and diplomatically, signaling to allies that their support is yielding tangible results. However, the situation remains fluid. Russia is likely to launch swift repair efforts, intensify its defensive posture, and retaliate in ways that could escalate the conflict further. The world will be watching closely to see how this development unfolds, and whether it marks the beginning of a larger shift in the balance of power in the Black Sea region.